Wide Family Farm presents.
True. Guardian prepping. A fish is in Ma's life. My Aussie garden and kitchen. Garden State Gardener. Ginger Ninja. Gray Man prepping. Buttercup Viper. 5942. Mama Bear prepping. Gardener Josh. The Big Blue House Homestead. Prep for it. Sandra Movie. Recyclable Homestead. Ramblin' Rose Homestead. CB. Hedgehog Homestead and Warren Lewis. In the house. Do Kitchen and Beyond. Skinner Farms. Yosi. Big Shop. Nana's Menagerie. Heaven's Essentials. Bull Battle Junkie. Backwoods Law. JFM. Chatio. Mary's Ranch. Red Road Homestead. Cosmic Cultivators. Mrs. Cosmic Cultivators, grillin' and chillin' with Mojo. A&A's Family Homestead, Ariel Bucking Ventures, and Victor M. Piedmar, King Puma, Bountiful Harvest, Abby, Trish Wiley, Wiley Living, Virginia Roots, Flax Tropical Homestead, Simply Crazy Life, Gardener Leah, Digs Outdoors, Mountain Grandma, Gear Grinding 19, Idaho Garden Girl, Laura B, Matt J, The Bee Lady Apiary, Blue Farm, Gotcha Grid, Apocalyptic Lake Ferry, Lone Stars Lounge, Roy Hayes, Susie Jacobson, Greenwich Homestead,
Zombie Prepper.
Springfield Ridge Farm, Andel Homestead, Cameron Hislop, Grammy Karen, Bailey Nutcher, Cat on the Prowl Creations, Kelly Ray, Purple Tea Bear, Pigskin Blitz, Operation Capsaicin, Will It Grow, Best Yet Journey, Food by Faith, Backbeat Rhythm, Hope X3, Nana's Crazy Life, Kathy Bates, Axe, SOR with Christy, Klingon Princess, Cindy B, Bigfoot Walking, Arkansas Living.
Hey everybody, and welcome to this edition of Wide Family Farm. And it's good to see everybody in the chat. It looks like we have a ton of people in here. Gear, Sean in Alaska, Cosmic Cultivators, Shiv Kicker, Susie Jacobson. Thank you, Radio Prepper, for coming in. I don't think I've seen you before, but thank you so much. We got Zach in here. Let's see, Susie Jacobson, of course, Gardner Josh, Kathy Bates, Backwoods Law, Creative Redundancy, and I'm sorry, there's just so many people now. Kathy Bates, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all for coming in and supporting Blue Farm. Make sure you share us out or you hit the like button and help Blue Farm out as well. Their link is at the top of the page. You can go over there and subscribe if you don't know who they are. And also make sure that you leave a comment in one of their videos so you don't give them false hope. I know one time, there was a couple of times that I went over to somebody's live and I got like 200 subs all at once. And the next day, they were all gone. So, yeah. It happens. So just, make sure that you're aware and you make comments and people's stuff. Hey, Uncle Al, it's good to see you in here. And I don't think I missed anybody else. Jay, why is wearing mossy oak? I'm wearing real. Well, I have real tree and mossy oak. Does that make us? It might. I don't know. Now I'm confused. I didn't think that mossy oak and real tree were arch enemies. In fact, I thought mossy oak actually had real tree on some. I don't know. My brain is gonna explode. I don't know. I know nothing about that. Nothing. I just wear what I can wear because it's cold in my house. And I don't really like a lot of different types of hooded sweatshirts, especially for girls. It drives me insane. Like, I'm not, sometimes you'll get one that says, all I need is coffee in the morning or something like that. I'm like, I don't need anything like that. So I don't know. Anyway. Oh, it's going to be a crazy night. We got the after party right on after this. So make sure you check us out at the after party. I am making my after parties TVMA for a little while anyway. So we can have like adult time. I don't get a lot of adult time. I have a kid and I just don't get it. So it's nice to be able to just talk to people like on a normal basis and not be like, oh, I have to watch what I say, that kind of thing. So that's why I'm making it TVMA. It's not like I swear on a normal basis, but not around my child. It's complicated. Yeah, I love Carhartt. That's like my favorite. I have a Carhartt hat on right now, but I have Carhartt jackets and stuff. Especially if I'm out there with the chickens. Okay, so I have the special guests right now, Nikki and Jay from Blue Farm. I'm going to go ahead and bring them up on panel. And I'm sorry, Melon did an update or something, so everything's really weird and backwards right now. Hey, Southern Sandy, thank you for coming in. I love you, Kathy. You cracked me up. Hey, Ginger Ninja, my #1 fan. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. I'll bring up the chat here. I think, I had all these issues with Melon before. I think they were trying to do an update. And sorry, my stomach hurts. I think they were trying to do an update, and that was what was really going on and why it was so slow. Maybe. I don't know. I kind of give them excuses all the time, but they don't deserve it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and bring up Jay and Nikki, and here they are. And hello, guys. Thanks for coming on the show. It's good to see you.
Yes, thanks for having us.
No, you're welcome. I'm so glad that you could do this and be a part of it. So much fun.
Yes.
I've had some, you guys are like one of the ones I was really excited about interviewing because I know you.
Yeah.
I've had some really awesome guests in the past as well. I've been trying to get this one guy I know who is a TV producer in England. I've been trying to get him on my show for a while now. And he's like, well, maybe we could do it in the fall. And I'm like, okay. I got a hold of him in the fall. And he's like, Mom, I can't do it right now. And I'm like, dang it. I would love to. His name is Chris Halton. He's a paranormal investigator.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I would love to get him on my show, but I don't know. He's probably too busy, doing his thing and whatever. But super cool.
Thanks, Radio Prepper. Appreciate that.
Yeah, we got a lot of people up in here. Thank you for coming in and supporting. And like I said, their link is pinned to the top of this page. Go over there and subscribe to their channel. Help them out and get them some subscribers. Okay, so so I don't really, I know you guys, but I don't really know a whole lot about why you're doing this and even your farm. And I'm sure the audience doesn't really know a whole lot either. So if you could just, tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Okay.
Is that my cue? That's what I thought.
He's the talker.
So like I said, I moved down to Phoenix, Arizona, and I lived down there with her for about 6 years. Well, 5 years. And then I looked at her and said, we're moving back to Washington. Are you coming with me? I was like, I'm leaving. Like, I can't do this anymore. I couldn't do the summers down there anymore.
Yeah.
And so we spent about a year planning our move from Arizona back up to Washington, where I grew up. And when we made that decision, we both made the decision that we wanted to go a different lifestyle change, like a different lifestyle route. Like, she'd been raised in the city. I'd been raised in a small Navy town. So it was small, but there was still, it was, a decent size community around here. I hunted and fished growing up, but I never really did a lot of the farming and stuff like that. So we both decided that if we were going to make that move, that we were going to transition into being as self-sufficient as possible. Being able to grow our own vegetables, have our own meat and things on our property that we can raise and stuff like that, so that we can move ourselves towards being self-sufficient, not necessarily off the grid completely, but being able to sustain our family off of the property that we have.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And we took like a year before we moved to learn as much as we could about homesteading or farming and gardening. And, I watched all the big channels and everything that they were doing. And I gained a lot of knowledge. Believe me, it was not enough.
I was going to say, I'll tell you,
we definitely learned more hands-on, but
a year of researching and reading, articles and magazines and books and everything you can on homesteading. And we wanted to learn the types of animals that worked best in the area we were moving to, what kind of food worked best. None of that prepared us for actually doing the homestead. I mean, it was every day is a learning experience. We recycle a lot on our property. I get free pallets a lot from friends and people that live in the area. All of my goat paddocks are built out of pallets. All of my chicken pens are built out of pallets and horse fencing, basically, that I've used to kind of piece in pieces of it. So we reuse everything that we can on our property. It all gets recycled back into something, into the property. We have composting that we do and stuff like that. So we try to recycle everything so that it kind of goes back
and we burn our cardboard and paper. And the rest of it goes to the dump.
That's how we do. We have one bag of trash. And it gets picked up on Friday, and it's always one because we burn
everything. Yeah, exactly.
And then and it makes more sense to me. And then of course we use everything on the farm. Like, if something can be reused and used, we do that.
Right?
It's not. So
you almost have to. I mean, because it gets expensive. It really does. I mean, you run into problems where you don't have the money to spend on certain things, but you can always reuse things to make do with what you need done. And so that's where you're going with it.
I mean, we've reused T-posts, we've reused cattle panel fencing.
Any fencing we pull down gets rolled up and reused.
Zip ties are our best friend. We use them all the time. Can't use them, but we use them a lot.
If you watch a lot of our videos, a lot of the fences that we've put up and that we've fixed, we use zip ties to hook the horse fencing to the T-posts, and we just put a bunch of extra. And then there was a few places that we had to put metal wire around, and it was because the foliage was coming over the fences, and our goats would stand up on it to get the tree. And no matter how strong of a zip tie you got, these goats weighed so much they'd just tear it down.
Thick zip ties. I didn't even know that they made them that big.
And they would just rip right through them. So but.
Well, thank you all for coming in the chat. We appreciate you. Everybody that's in there. Fishes just came in. Lone Star Lounge, Chad. Thank you for coming in and hanging out with us tonight. We do have Blue Farm, Nikki and Jay with us tonight. So exciting. I'm really excited to have them on. It's just going to be a really fun time here.
Yeah, we're actually getting really excited because we're getting ready to do our Shed Wars 2022.
Yes, I was going to ask you if you were going to do it.
We actually just messaged John earlier because we do a lot of foraging out here too. We do a lot of foraging for wild mushrooms and berries and things like that in our area. And so we were just clarifying with John if that counts towards our Shed Wars count, and it does. So
Nice.
All the
it
stuff that we do as far as foraging goes,
Yeah.
will now go towards our shed wars. So we're really excited. Yeah, we're getting ready to do our video here soon, so we're stoked.
Yeah.
So it's going to
That's
be a lot
super
of fun.
exciting. I'm excited for you guys.
Yep.
I mean, I can't help you physically, but if you guys need any help with anything, you just let me know.
Right.
I will help you out.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, we know that for sure, Courtney.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love you guys. And yeah, Shed Wars is really you know, I've been through a lot of hell with Shed Wars, not gonna lie.
Right.
There was some major drama.
Right.
And I've been through a lot of hell with them, but at the same time, I had gained some really awesome friends.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Homestead Aquarius, Will It Grow? Those guys
Yes.
have balls, and I appreciate them 100% for what they do for that community.
Yep.
And you know, Sarah over at the Big Blue House Homestead, she's another one. Cosmic Cultivators. I've just became friends with these people that are just amazing, and they understand it. We
Yeah.
have like this passion to grow things, and like they just, I mean, we all just get it, you know.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun. It's nice to be able to talk to people that understand that, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So.
Well, it'll be nice this year because the end of February, beginning March, you'll see a video coming out on Blue Farm. I'm actually building her first greenhouse, so it's going to be kind of interesting. So this will be her first
That's
year actually being able to use a
awesome.
greenhouse, and so first year Shed Wars, first year greenhouse. We're going to try to see if we can grow some interesting things. We got a lot of hot peppers that we're getting ready to start growing, super hot peppers.
Nice.
And
Oh my God, my
of course,
husband
Garden
is
State
a
Gardener
hot
gave us
pepper.
most of those seeds.
Oh my
Yes.
God, my husband has like 3 or 4 trays of hot peppers in the basement
Yep.
now. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That's exciting.
Yep, it's going to be
God,
fun. It's going to be fun.
it's gonna
Last
be
year we did
crazy.
really good with peppers, so we want to expand the types of peppers that we're
Yeah.
doing and the amount that we're doing.
Hmm.
Peppers and tomatoes are the 2 things that just exploded on our property last year.
Oh
So
yeah.
Yeah,
we're gonna increase those, and then we found out that on one of our fences on the north side of our property, or sorry, the west side of our property, has the entire fence is nothing but wild blackberries that grow along the
Yeah.
fence.
nice.
So
I
we
made
get-
wild blackberry jam like a couple years ago, and I
Yes.
just broke out some of that jam and put it. And
Yes.
my son, he doesn't like any food. Okay, he's
Uh-oh.
just so picky, right?
Uh-huh.
So he picks it up and he just licks the jam off the bread.
You know,
Seriously?
yeah.
Our son
It's
does
not.
that.
He's gonna say it's not just him, because our son will do the same thing. He'll lick the bread and then put the bread down, and I'm like, "Aren't you gonna eat the bread?" He's like, "No, I'm done." I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
My 4-year-old will deconstruct his PB&J and like lick it, even the peanut butter side, and then like throw it when he's done.
Yeah. But I think I'm
Okay.
done. Yep.
Gotta
Yeah.
love kids. Like,
Oh man.
oh man, yeah, for sure.
Very
But yeah, he was cracking me up. But I made blackberry jam. I know I didn't. I only had like 8 cups of it. I got
Right.
honestly, they have little prickers on them, so
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like it's hell trying to pick that stuff off of there.
It is.
It was
It
like
is.
horrible.
Yep. And we're actually going to be propagating some of it to move some of it to another portion so we can grow
Nice,
more of it.
nice.
But we got, I mean, probably a good pound or 2 of blackberries just off this
Oh,
one
yeah.
fence. It was a lot.
It was
Oh, well,
crazy.
that's nice.
So yeah.
Yeah, I had it in my mind. There's a farm that's like literally 5 or 6 miles from my house, and it's huge. And
Yeah.
they actually grow for one of the local grocery stores here.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and they have blueberries, raspberries, they have all of that. So if I really wanted to, I can go up there and I can get. Well, so one time I thought for sure I'm gonna pick all these blueberries. I mean, oh my God, I'll never do that again.
Right.
Took forever, and I was by myself. And like the farmer dudes are just staring at me. I'm
Right.
like, I can't do this, man. I'm like, I picked about, I don't know, not even 7 cups. I was like,
Oh, wow.
I'm
And
like,
you're like,
I'm
I'm
outta
done.
here. Yeah, it
Yep.
was like 90 degrees out. I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? But I did make, I did dry them. I think I was making tea. I've been in this
Mhm.
tea mood, and I like that's one thing I do over the summer is I just make lots of teas because I know it gets freaking cold here, and like that's all I want to drink is like tea and all that stuff. So I keep thinking in the summertime that's like, okay, I need to make mint tea. This is what I need to do with it, and I just like stockpile it all summer long, and then when fall comes, I have like tons of stuff, hot drinks and stuff like that.
There you go.
Another one that was super monotonous was freaking chamomile.
Oh, I bet.
Oh my God. Every day, every 3 days, you have to go out there and pick it. Because if you don't, it'll go to seed and then you just kind of wasted it.
Yep.
So I'm like,
yeah.
I'm out there picking the flowers almost every other day. Pain in the ass.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
But worth it in the end, I guess.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you have a garden. Like, have you ever, now with Shed Wars, you have to weigh your food and stuff. Have you ever done that before? Or is this your first experience doing that?
We do have a scale because we raised a couple bottle calves and we had to measure out like the
Food
powder
and formula
and
stuff like
yeah.
that. So we have what we need to do that, but no, we've never actually done.
Yeah, we've never had to
Yeah.
really.
Well,
have
I
to
tell
weigh
you,
food
I
before.
tell you guys, it's an experience.
Yep.
I
Okay.
found it to be okay. It was kind of a pain in the ass. I'm not going to lie, because you have to weigh everything. Okay.
Mhm.
That's a pain. But it's so interesting at the end of the year when you get a final number and you're like, holy crap, I just grew that. Like
Yeah.
I had seriously 500 pounds of food and
Wow.
I
That's
couldn't believe
impressive.
it. I
Right.
really could not believe it. And I grew
Yeah.
things like squash and pumpkins and stuff. And of course that weighs more.
Right.
But for the most part, I was just so excited. I just couldn't believe it. And the tomatoes were just flourishing. Everything did so well. And yeah. So at the end of the year, you're just going to you're going to really surprise yourself. Don't give up and just keep going with it and to push
Yeah.
yourself to the limit. And you'll know how much food you can actually grow for yourself.
Right.
It's really cool. I loved it.
Right. Well, and this last year was really a learning experience too. It was our
Yeah.
first year really actually doing the gardening on. I mean, we had the
Yeah.
animals prior to that, but as far as the gardening goes, that was one of our kind of an experiment year. So we kind of planted a bunch of different things and we really figured out real quick what works, what doesn't.
And the placement of where things are, because there's
Yep.
shady spots in our yard. And
Yeah.
I had to replant my cucumbers 3 times before I moved them and replanted them again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Just figuring out where the sun hits because we're in the middle of the woods. So there's trees along the front part of our property and trees
We're
along
wrapped-
the side.
yeah.
So we only get sun certain parts of the day. So we have to really work with the parts of the yard that get the most sun in order to get the most out of what we're trying to grow.
Right.
Yeah.
So it can be challenging. Last year was very challenging. We lost a lot in the garden and it was just a trial and error. We lost it
Yeah.
and replanted something
But
and just
you know
tried
what?
it.
That's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay. Every year I plant something. I'm like, oh my God, it just lived.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Right.
because
Like
you
it's
don't
still
know.
there.
And I get anxiety about it. My
Yeah.
husband, I'm down there looking at him, like spraying them and making sure everything's good because, I want them, you spend a lot of money on seeds. So you
Yeah.
want them to grow and you want them to be successful.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like every year, like especially when you have to harden them off, I'm
Yeah.
always like, my stomach's in knots, like it's my
Yeah.
baby, this
Yeah.
is what I want. So it's like super nerve-wracking, trying to get everything situated and making sure it lives.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yes.
I
And
ruined some
we-
plants last year a couple
Yes.
times trying to harden them off. Like
Yeah.
again, first year gardening.
Yeah, it was a learning experience for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Because we do it, we bring it inside, and the next day we'd be like, yeah, well, that one didn't work.
Well, I forgot about them
There
today.
you go. Let's try that. Yeah, because I mean, when you got kids in life, you put
Yeah.
them outside for a few minutes. You're like, oh, I'll bring them back in a minute, and then life happens.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't understand either. The hardening off process is super difficult.
Yeah.
It's very
Because
slow.
You
Yeah.
got to keep a fan on your plants. You keep
Yeah.
the fan on your plants and they will grow stronger. They have to have that constant wind because
Yeah.
that makes them strong, right? So then you have to have that in your greenhouse or in your basement or whatever. So
Yeah.
then you bring them out and a wind comes along, like your plants start going
Yeah.
like this. You're like, oh my God. But eventually they end up standing up straight.
Yeah.
Like they have to grow hard. They have to, and it's like it's really nerve-wracking. And you have to do that like a couple hours every day for like 2 to 3 weeks to make sure they're okay. Sometimes I get impatient and just throw them in the garden anyway. I have a huge tree that shades my garden a little bit, so I'm not too pressured as far as that goes. But sometimes it's bad. Sometimes they get, oh, well, it's just the first couple leaves. Maybe the other ones will. look a little bit better. I don't know.
Right.
Mhm.
I don't
Right.
know. But
Well, and then we wanted to do a kind of our fall garden as well. So we pulled a little bit early on some of our plants because we needed the space to replant. And so again, that was something that we probably should have waited a little bit longer to pull because we
Yeah.
had enough
Absolutely.
time to do it. But again, we didn't really know the timing of the weather and everything up here yet. And so we pulled, and then we went, oh crap, we probably could have left them on there for another week, maybe a week and a half. We would have been all right. But
Yeah.
now we know. So again, it's just
yeah.
constant learning. Like there's never a moment we're not learning something or something new is happening or you're fixing something on the fly that broke overnight. You know, it happens every day.
Yeah.
I'm happy our goats haven't gotten out in a long time.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah.
used to have-
they're
That was fun at
escape artists.
first.
Yeah.
Oh, they are escape artists. The goats, the
Mhm.
cows got out once.
Oh
The
God,
pigs
that's
got out
horrible.
several times.
At least
dude,
that- A goat, you can put a leash on its neck and like pull it, right?
Right.
But a
Yep.
cow?
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, our cow was leash trained.
Oh, okay. Well, then
Yep.
you're lucky.
No, and it's funny because our neighbors down the street. One day we get a call and they're like, "Jay, your cow's in my front yard." I'm like, "Oh crap!"
Oh,
So I go
no.
outside and they had knocked this giant piece of the fence down, and both the bull and the heifer were at the bottom of the hill in my neighbor's yard next to the fence where their goats were eating their grass.
Oh my
Yeah.
lord.
So I just grabbed a leash, put it around the bull, and when I walked him home, she followed right behind him. So I got him back pretty quick, but that wasn't the first time that they broke through fences. So
Right.
Yeah, animals can, really. Well, our turkeys, we have a porch. It's upstairs, and like we have a door, and it goes onto a porch. Well, my husband heard he was sleeping upstairs. He sleeps during the day, and he's like, "Did you hear something on the roof?" And I'm like, "No." No, I'm like, I'm not paying attention because I'm like watching. I can't hear very well anyway. But if I have the TV on, and like sometimes even out here, I have the fan on. The fan is like a freaking Cessna. So I got a freaking fan going. I have the TV going. Of course, I didn't hear anything on the roof.
Right.
So I'm like, no, I didn't hear anything. And he's like, I get up. He's like, I look out the window, and all four of the turkeys were sitting on the porch upstairs.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, they're everywhere. Those turkeys.
Yeah.
They don't like leave the yard or anything, and I'm grateful for that. But
Right.
they're everywhere in the yard. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
really actually concerned because of the garden this year, because they can just fly on over into the garden.
Yeah.
And turkey's freaking huge. So they're going to be like eating my tomatoes and my cucumbers, and nobody messes with my cucumbers because
Right.
I'm, kind of protective of them. But anyway, so
Sorry.
it's okay. I got kids, so I get it. But yeah, so it's frustrating sometimes. Animals are just, and especially chickens, it's hard. I mean, you can clip their wings. I don't like to because I feel like then they can't get away from predators, you
Right.
know?
That makes sense.
So yeah, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But, hey,
Sorry,
twin
we're
birthday
checking on the
birds.
kids.
It's okay. No, it's okay. I get it. So okay, you're doing the Shed Wars thing. I wish you all the success in the world with that. I really hope you just, you plan it out and go gun ho with it, because that is just, it's going to be so much fun. It's a lot of work, guys. It's a lot of work, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so
Oh,
cool
yeah.
at the end of the year when you get that freaking number and you're like,
Right.
oh my God, I did that. And this year I had a hell of a time because during the summer, my husband had rotator cuff surgery. So it was 8 weeks of just me.
Right.
And he did water a lot, which helped me. But I was nervous because I never really actually did everything, like all my starts and stuff, by myself. He was always like there to help me. I was like really nervous about that, but it worked out really good. And he did help with like tomatoes and stuff like that. We had 74 or something. We went to the flea market and sold a bunch of tomatoes and stuff like that. Yeah. But we just, I did what I could this year, and I worked my butt off, and it paid off, and we won. I mean, we won with our group and stuff. So
Yes.
I can't wait. We're getting some seeds in the mail, and I can't wait to get them. Get that no, not with those turkeys. However, we do, Bruce, we have wild turkeys here, and I'm not kidding. There's a massive population here. It's like 25 to 30 turkeys will just be crossing the yard or crossing my mom's yard or in the woods. And my husband has a deer feeder with a camera on it in the back. And they're, oh my gosh, those turkeys are everywhere back there. Everywhere. And it's so funny. We have turkeys, those deer, we have one fox and a coyote, and then we have this really whacked out squirrel that was so fun. And you go to his page, you can see his his camera or whatever. And the squirrel is like the feeder is a tripod,
Okay.
and the squirrel crawls up the tripod and his tail just spins, and he's the fattest squirrel because he's eating all the corn. It's funny. It's really funny.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so Ohio is great. It's beautiful here, and his family is from down south in the Coshocton area, and down there it's gorgeous, and I love driving down there, and the views and stuff is just absolutely beautiful. Okay, so you guys live in Washington, correct?
Yep.
So now you guys get a lot of snow. Like, how much snow have you gotten?
Well, we do and we don't. We usually get, I mean, it really depends on the year. We usually get one big snowstorm every year, and it usually comes pretty hardcore. The problem is that the state that we live in is never prepared for it. It's not a state that is used to having to deal with snow on a regular basis, like, the Midwest and some places back east. So they're not prepared. So when this last storm hit, it'll shut down the whole state. I mean, businesses are closed. The little small town that I live in. That really
surprises me because they are prepared for stuff like that, right?
They are to a point, but the problem is that there are so many, like where I'm at. I'm in a very small town. The town that I live in has a population of just over 3,000 people. Okay, so it's a very small town. Yeah, and so the town is very small. Most of the population lives outside the actual city. So we live out in the hills and in the woods and right along the the Hood Canal and up in the base of the Olympic Mountains. Mm-hmm. So they are and they aren't, because there's so many of these back windy country roads that they can't plow and they can't get to, that when the snow happens, you're stuck. Yep. And we live on an unmaintained county road. So we live on a road that they won't touch anyways.
Is it county or is it private?
It's a private road. What's what I'm saying. It is an unmaintained county road. Gotcha. So it is a private road. I actually own part of the road. So do my neighbors, because it's a dirt road that goes between our properties. So our property actually extends across the road in front of my house. But because it is unmaintained city or county property, they will not plow that road. They won't sand that road, nothing. So if our road gets snowed in, you're stuck, because coming out of my driveway, you have to literally make a 90-degree turn and go up on a dirt road. And there's just no way you're getting out of the driveway if you've got a foot and a half of snow on the ground. There's no way.
Mm-hmm. Now, tell me a little bit about your house. Is your house old?
Our house is actually a manufactured house, and it is not that old. I believe it was 95 or something like that. So I mean, it's got some years on it, but it's not not 100-year-old house or anything crazy like that. Yeah. But yeah, it's just, I mean, it's a nice little single story. We've got 4 bedrooms. I mean, so we got a nice huge back deck that's covered. So we have entertainments where I have all my barbecues and grills and smokers and all that fun stuff. And then our property, we're just shy of 2 acres. Our property is very unique though, because our property, the top part of our property, that direction, it goes up a hill and then it flattens off, but it's all undeveloped. So it's woods above my house. Nice. And then in front of my house, it goes downhill to the road. So my house is on the hillside basically, and my property is downhill in the front and uphill in the back. Yeah. So it's not flat at all. Mm-hmm. The side of my house where my goats are is the longest section of our farm, and it still goes downhill. It is not flat at all. So none of our property is flat except for the undeveloped probably half acre that maybe more than that above us that we haven't had a chance to
do anything with.
Yeah.
I actually want when we can find the resources to do it, I want to fence off that top part, and I want to move the goats up there so
And
that
let
they
them
can be
clear
up in
for
the
us.
woods and clear stuff out.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd
Yeah.
be nice.
The only reason we haven't done it yet is because there are a few plants like holly bushes that
Mhm.
are very toxic to goats.
Oh yeah, you have
And
to watch
we
that
have a
stuff.
lot of holly bushes here, so those are things that I have to clear before I let my goats go up there.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have to actually go through the whole field and make sure that there's nothing up there that's going to kill them, because
Yeah, because
that
goats
would be
will pretty much eat
counterproductive.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
they will, and we have to be very careful with that. So
Mhm.
that's the only reason we haven't done it yet, is because I'm just worried that I'm going to put them up there and I'm going to lose them, and then what?
Right.
I'm out goats, and my property's still not cleared for me. So
You guys really need, if you're considering doing that, you guys need to look into Premier One fencing too, because that is really good. That's what we have for our chickens. We don't have the removable. There's one that you can, remove or whatever and, rotate around and solar power and all that. But ours is actually hardwired into the electrical system. But, yeah, but you guys should really, it is kind of expensive, but it's worth it. And it keeps it keeps my birds protected from foxes and stuff, you know?
Well, we do
So.
have hog fencing,
from
Premier One.
yeah,
And we also have a really tall one for chickens and goats. It's
Yeah.
Oh,
really
okay.
long. It's actually too big for our front area.
Oh, wow.
So that's just kind of rolled up, waiting
to
for
move up top.
Yeah.
And those are what you were talking about. They are the solar powered ones that have the batteries
Yeah.
and everything that are movable. That's the main reason we did that, is because we knew we were going to be moving the fences around up in that part of the property. And
I just don't know if the solar power is going to work where all the trees are.
Yeah, I don't know. I would just take it up there and see. You got a tester, right? So you can just take it up there and leave it up there for like a day or something, and then test it and see like if it has enough power to it.
The only option other than that is to either run some sort of wiring up there from the house to hardwire it, and then unhook it when you're going to move it, or somebody had told me just to put the solar panel on top of our house and then run the longer cord from there up the hill to the fence up there and do it that way. So there's a few options that we've kind of looked into, but our property is very shady, and that's our biggest problem when it comes to solar. We were actually looking at getting solar panels put on the house so we could get even a little bit more kind of self-sustainable.
Right.
But unfortunately, the company that we were talking to will not put solar panels on a manufactured home.
They put it in our field, though, where our livestock is.
Yeah, they won't. For some reason, they won't. It has to be a stick and mortar house for them to put solar panels on. They didn't tell us why. They just said that they aren't able to do it. The only reason my neighbors were able to do it, because their house is manufactured too, is because they have a stick and mortar garage that's separate from their house, so they put it on that.
Okay,
instead.
but that's really weird. I wonder what the issue is there.
I don't know. I think something has to do with the laws and how the houses were built and something like that. I'm not sure exactly, but I just know that we got through the whole process, and then I got to the very end, and he's like, "Oh, I forgot to ask you if your house was a manufactured home or not." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, it is." And he goes, "Oh, well, we just wasted our time."
It is, but it's on concrete blocks, so it's permanent.
Yeah.
So
it's not like it's not a trailer. You guys live in a manufactured home.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
we have.
There's a full concrete sub basement, and it's not sub basement, but crawl space under our house.
Yeah.
So we're sitting on a concrete slab. It's not like we're mobile at all whatsoever.
Exactly.
So I don't know. They said that they could put it in, like I said, we can do some ground units for you, but the only place they can put it is right where my animals are. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna get rid of my animals.
No, that's
not worth it.
Yeah, that's not. Is there another company or something you can go through?
And that's what I'm going to look into. I'm going to see if there's somebody else.
That sounds really freaking weird. That sounds weird. And there's lots of people in this area that have manufactured homes and stuff. And I'm pretty sure when I pass on a daily basis or when I go to pick up my son when he's at his grandma's, I'm 99% sure that's a manufactured home and it has freaking solar panels on the top of it. Unless it's some kind of weird Washington law.
Right.
that
Right.
we don't really know about. But
And
I
that
mean,
that could be, I don't know, and that's I'm going
Yeah.
to look into it a little bit further and try to see if we can get it done, because I know there's huge tax breaks right now if you go solar.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
you
yeah.
get a good chunk of the money that you're going to spend on the solar back because you're doing that.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to take advantage of, to do it, at a lower cost for ourselves.
I would
But-
love to do that and put them on my
Yeah.
barn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, like I said, I mean, worst case scenario, something crazy happens, you've got a way to, power your house at least.
Right.
Yeah. Well, even like power like the stuff for your animals.
Oh
Like
yeah.
we have a well out there in the barn or whatever. Like sometimes you need you need electricity for certain things, and
Yep.
Yeah.
when the power's out, you don't have water and
Yep.
Stuff like that. So it's something to think about for sure.
Yeah.
How many types of animals do you have? I heard you have goats. I know you have chickens. You have ducks. Did you say you had horses as well?
No, that's something that we
If
want.
you count
in the
our Great
future.
Danes.
Yeah. If you count
I
our
didn't
Great
know
Danes
that.
as
Oh wait,
horses.
yeah, I did know that. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
So we have our goats. We have turkeys. We have chickens and ducks. We have quails and guineas, which
Oh
are
my
just
god.
annoying, very
Oh my
annoying
god, they
alarm
drive me
birds.
nuts.
I love them to death. They're the two prettiest little lavender guineas. They're beautiful,
They
but at
look
the
like
same
little
time, they are
clowns.
just annoying.
Mhm.
They don't stop. But
Mm-mm.
and then we have our cats and our dogs. We are going to be getting back into rabbits here shortly. We did rabbits when we first got up here, and we kind of moved away from that
Yeah.
temporarily. But I know that's something that we want to get back into, is raising meat rabbits. So
Yeah,
Yep.
that's really cool, guys.
So, but
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I'm still hearing guinneas. They're so obnoxious. They really are. If you want to piss off your neighbors and you don't live too far away, get yourself some guineas.
Mhm.
Yep.
And that's the one nice part, is we're not super close to our neighbors,
We're not right on top of them.
and our guineas free roam our property. Like they don't have their own. I mean, and they have their own place where they can go in underneath at night, or shelter or whatever. But they don't have a fenced-in area. They're not in a cage, not in a pen. They
They
free
just roam.
and it actually saves us on feed for them. We feed them once a day, and we give them all flock basically when we're feeding them, and then
Yeah.
the rest of the day are on the property. If
Eating
we have any
bugs.
tick problems or anything like that, they take care of all the bug problems, and it's great. We love it.
Yeah, that's
So,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing about the guineas that are super cool, is that, well, you really can't keep them enclosed. I mean, you can
No.
try, but
Yeah.
they want to be out and about.
Oh,
They
yeah.
can
I'm
fly
afraid
really
to get them.
high.
They'll be on my mom's porch or something. I can just see it now.
Oh yeah.
Your
We've come
birds
out
are
front
on
and
my
they're
porch.
Yeah, we've come out front, and they're sitting up in the trees in front of our house, just hanging out up in the trees.
Yep.
She gets
don't
mad
go
when
very-
when my dog Otis goes over there and poops in front of her window.
Oh,
She's like,
Otis.
she'll be like, your dog was over here. I saw him. And I'm like, sorry.
that's funny. Your dog's name is Otis.
Yep.
Ours
Otis
is
Bigglesworth.
Oda.
Yeah, ours is Oda. Yeah.
She's
Oda-
our farm dog.
Yep, Oda May. She's our
Aw.
farm dog. She's a Saint Bernard Cane Corso mix.
Aw.
And yeah,
I
and
love
so
St. Bernards.
yes, she comes out with us. She goes in with the goats. She runs and jumps and plays with the goats, and
She's good with birds.
she checks on the chickens and the ducks for us. And
Aw.
yeah, she's awesome. The other ones are not farm dogs, so they
Nope.
have their own area that they go in. Our Great Dane Wolf mix is very much a alpha predator.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah,
we
yeah.
have to watch her very closely. When we did have rabbits, one of the rabbits got out, and yeah,
Yeah,
Yep.
that's not good.
Nope.
Yeah, both of mine are well, Otis is a schnoodle. He's a giant schnauzer and poodle mix, and
wow.
he has really, really tight black curls. He looks Rastafarian right now. And then we have Ellie Mae, who is a standard white poodle. And
Oh, okay.
both of those dogs are just they're bred to be hunting dogs anyway, but
Right.
they're really gentle with the chickens and stuff. Like,
Okay,
they don't-
cool.
it doesn't bother them, which I'm really
Right.
surprised, because they were city dogs before they moved here, so they had never
Ah.
really been around anything like that.
Hmm.
So I was kind of
You got
impressed.
lucky.
Yeah, sometimes that's a hard transition.
Right.
Yes, my mom does work, okay, Jay, but a lot of times she'll like if it's early in the morning when I let him out, he'll run over there because she has two little dogs. And Betty, which is a Shih Tzu, that's his girlfriend. Betty, however, does not like Ellie Mae and has ripped her ear apart before.
Oh no.
Yeah, Ellie Mae is like the kindest, gentlest soul. She
Yeah.
went over to my mom's house one time, and Betty just ripped her. And I was like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, she was like bleeding. You know how dogs' ears, like if they start bleeding from the ear,
Yeah.
it's so hard to like get it under control. She bled, I swear, for like a month. Like I tried to put stuff on it, and and she'd shake her head, and it started bleeding again. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god!" I'm like, Betty really likes Otis though. I was thinking there must be some kind of jealousy issues there.
Right.
Fighting over the mail.
Yeah, pretty
Oh,
much.
man.
It's pretty funny. They're dynamic. And then my mom just got a Havanese like a month or so ago, and her name's Rosie, and that dog is wild. She is so stinking cute. And
What breed was it again?
a Havanese.
What is that?
I
I've
don't
never
know
heard
what
of that
that is.
before.
It's like it's a smaller dog, but it's
Oh,
not.
okay.
It doesn't have the pushed in face like a Shih Tzu. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
gotcha.
Is it the dogs that always get like the stuff in their eyes, like the eye boogers?
Yeah, just one
Okay.
of them. Yeah, and so she just
Hey,
got her
B-Lady.
not too long
How we
ago.
doing?
Hey, B-Lady. She just got her not too long ago, and that dog loves Fred. Every time it goes over there, it licks him and wants to play with him, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, that's just what he needs. He's so cute. So, yeah, you're right, Kaylin Strain. Thank you. But yeah, so okay, so you have a garden. You know, you guys are just living the dream. How long ago? When did you? Who is connected to Washington?
I am.
Okay.
I grew up here. Yeah, this is where I came from. This
Is that where is your family there still, or?
Yeah. My family's still here. My my mom, my dad, my brother. He was living here, but he actually moved out to Idaho. But he's coming back because he moved there, and he's like, yeah, no, and he's coming back. So yeah, they ended up getting like during our little mini snowstorm, they ended up getting like 3.5 feet of snow overnight or some crazies. I mean, it was just insane. So he's like, yeah, I'm not dealing with this anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, we grew up here. I grew up in a small town of Bremerton across the water from Seattle. It's about an hour ferry ride. So I grew up riding the ferries into Seattle and all that kind of fun stuff. This area is one of the few areas in the country that still uses ferries for a main mode of transportation. I think Maine, I know New York does still, but a lot of them have kind of gone away from that form of transportation, but it's still very, very widely used here all up and down the west coast.
I've been on the ferries and stuff in New York City. So yeah.
Ferries are pretty cool.
Yeah. I had a dream once, and that sounds really weird right now, but I had a dream. I wanted to do radio. I was really into it, and I wanted to move to Seattle because Seattle is the radio.
Oh, yeah.
It's like if you want to be in radio, that's where you want to be. And I considered moving there. I applied for jobs there actually. But I ended up moving to Kentucky instead because I had full-time on-air job there. And but you know, it's so cutthroat, and I'm just not cutthroat. I'm just not that person. I can't.
Right.
You know, I'm not gonna stab somebody in the back to, you know, be number one in my radio spot. It's just not who I am.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
No.
So, what'd you say, Prepper? My mom told me I have a face for radio. You probably do, honey. I love you, Prepper 101. But hey, Mojo, thank you for coming in.
Hey, Mojo. What's up, buddy?
But yeah, so you know, it never happened. I had other dreams, but it's okay.
Right.
I'm doing this. I think this kind of fills that void just a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, so. But yeah, I've always wanted to go there. I really love nature and like the rainforests, and I've always wanted to see, you know, all of that. I just never have. So
I actually took a trip with my cousin and my oldest son and her kids. We drove up to the Hoh rainforest in like northern part of Washington.
Mhm.
And let me just tell you, it was beautiful.
Oh yeah.
It was the prettiest thing I had seen. The huge giant trees that are there and the bears. Did I ever tell you once that I chased a bear?
No.
Yeah, no, she has a video of it. Okay.
I have a video.
She's hiking along a trail and this baby cub comes out on the trail. And instead of running away like everybody else did, my wife takes her phone out, starts recording, and tries to follow the bear.
It.
Oh my God.
It was the coolest thing.
That was
Yeah.
badass of you, for sure.
Let me just tell you, I posted that on
Thank you.
Facebook. I posted it on Facebook like right after I recorded it, and somebody was like, "You moron!" Like they were mad at me. Like that bear should have eaten you.
Oh my God.
It didn't.
Wow.
Oh,
What kind of
yeah.
bear was it? Do you
It was
know?
a black bear.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. There.
Yeah. And there's a black, and it was a baby. It was a baby. It was a cub. It wasn't even. I mean, so mama's nearby somewhere, but it wasn't like a
mama come out and
baby.
eat you.
Yeah, I'd probably say it was more like a teenage bear. It wasn't. It was not a full-grown bear at all. But.
Right.
Yeah.
But like we were standing on the trail watching it like play on the logs, and it was walking, and then it'd stop and look at us, and then it was like playing on the logs and walking. And then as it was coming out, I got my phone out, and I was like, I'm gonna record this walking past the trail. Yeah, I got it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. They say like if you act like that towards a bear, more than likely they will run off.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
they're
yeah.
more scared of you than anything. That
Right.
whole playing dead thing, I guess, does not really work. That's not
Right.
really what you want to do.
I'm sorry, but I see something that big. I ain't laying on the ground and giving it a target.
Hell no.
I'm like,
Hell
I
to
am
the no.
gone.
Yeah, I am out of there, baby. So
Yep.
fast. Oh my God.
Fastest person survives.
There's a Facebook reel out there right now, and this woman is freaking snowboarding with her freaking GoPro, and she's just going down the mountain, and she's not paying attention. There's a bear chasing after her. She doesn't even know it. She's got it
Wow.
on camera. She didn't see it probably, obviously, till she was done, and she
Right.
saw the video. But there's a bear, and it can't get anywhere near her. She's snowboarding, and she's going really fast. But the bear is like chasing after her. Oh my God. I just like couldn't believe it. It was a brown bear too. I was like, oh hell no.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Gave me
it's
some
really
goosebumps.
scary. Yeah, for real. It was really, really scary. But yeah. And she's just like singing and like, with her camera just like going down the hill, and there's just like this freaking bear like behind her. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we have packs of coyotes out here that we have. That's one of the main reasons that we got the guineas, because they're definitely an early warning system when any of the wildlife get close.
Mhm.
Because directly behind my house is about 450 acres of logging woods.
Mm-hmm.
So behind my property, it's all owned by a logging company up behind us. So it's all wild, and the packs of coyotes like to roam the property up behind my house. So we got to be very careful with the wildlife out here. So
Did you ever hear the joke, like the redneck joke, you go to a family reunion to meet a husband or a wife?
No, I've
No?
never. No.
Oh, okay. Well, that is a reality for me and my husband.
Oh, for real? Is that how you met?
My cousin married his brother. And I
Oh.
went to go like see my cousin. I hadn't seen her since I was a little girl. And he's in the wedding, and we meet, and then 2 months later he moves down to Arizona.
Aw. Oh, that's really cute, Nikki. I love to hear stories like that.
It's
So you
neat.
guys have just been together ever since, huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. I 2 months after I met her, I moved to Arizona, and 6 years later, now we're 7 years later, now we're here.
That's
So
amazing.
It's been longer than that, hasn't it? It's
Don't
been
ask me.
13,
I don't even
it's
remember
been-
when we
it's
got
been
married.
It's been 8 years. We've been together for going on 9 years now. So.
You know, women are supposed to know the dates and stuff like that, like the anniversary. No, I have to ask him. I know it was in November.
I try to remember. I'm not very good. I have it written in my phone,
Yeah.
and like my phone will tell me. I'm not really good with dates.
Yeah,
So,
she
I
doesn't
mean,
even know our wedding anniversary, which is November 5th, by the way.
November 5th?
Yes.
Okay, I always think it's the 7th.
No, it's the 5th
Okay.
of 13.
I think ours is October 6th.
think it's 13. No, it was 15. 15.
Yeah,
It was a year before
Carter was
Carter
born.
was born. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 15.
So
Yeah.
crazy.
So our life kind of went fast track really quickly. And then, like I said, after 6 years of living in the horrible, horrible, horrible desert of Phoenix, Arizona, we decided there was one summer that we were there. We broke heat records. It was over 126 degrees for 4 days straight. I mean, you're going to bed at night and, you wake up in the middle of the night, go to the bathroom, whatever, you want to step outside for a second, you step outside, it's still 110 degrees.
Oh, God. It just
Mhm.
never
It just-
shuts off.
There's no cool down.
Yeah.
Whereas here in Washington, yeah, we can get up into the 90s in the summer. It gets hot here. But then at night, guess what? It's in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yep,
You know what I mean?
drops.
It drops like 30 degrees at night because it's much different here than
Mhm.
Yeah.
living in the desert. I won't do that again.
No.
I won't do that again. But our first experience gardening was actually down there, and it's very hard to grow in the desert.
Yeah, I can
Yes.
imagine.
But you can. It's just very difficult.
Yeah.
So we grew
Well,
carrots.
hello,
and-
everybody out there in the chat. I didn't get a chance to say hi to everybody.
Yes.
Hello, Idaho Garden Girl. Thank you for coming in. Thank you, Abby, for being here. We appreciate y'all for coming in and hanging out with us tonight. But yeah, so it sounds like you are well on your way. I'm excited to see what Shed Wars does for you.
Yes.
I know it kind of changed my perspective a little bit on what I can grow and how much I can grow.
Yeah.
And this year, like I'm gonna try and grow over 500 pounds of food. We'll see. I'm gonna be really super busy. I better get some freaking canning help. That's all I got to say.
Right.
Which he did help. My husband did help me an awful lot with canning tomatoes and stuff. Like every time I looked, there was tomatoes in our roaster, like ready to go.
Nice.
So yeah. So it was just stressful, but we got it done.
Oh, yeah.
And now I have like tons of tomato juice and pasta sauce and stuff like that, which, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in the stores right now, like they don't have any pasta and they don't have any pasta sauce,
Yeah.
Right.
stuff like that. And those are usually the first things to go in a
Yep.
SHTF situation.
Yep.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah. So you just got to watch and
Right.
just, I guess, be prepared.
Yeah.
Kitty meow meow.
Yeah. Gear Grinding it actually asked what type of wild mushrooms that we like
Ooh.
most here.
Yeah.
And there's two main ones that I go for, and there's a chanterelle mushroom up here that we go for, and then oddly enough, there is a hedgehog mushroom that grows native to Washington. That's actually really good. Those are the two main ones that I go for because those are the ones that grow more plentiful around my property. I know there are other ones, but those are the two that I'm mainly going out looking for when I do foraging and that kind of stuff. So, and then we do all sorts of different berries and stuff, blackberries and blueberries and all sorts of stuff that grow wild here. Blackberries grow wild everywhere here.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
So you guys have elderberries growing wild there too, don't
Yep.
you?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I
Yep.
thought.
I was shocked coming from the desert, moving up here. The first time I came to visit, I was like, "Oh my! You're just driving down the road and there's bushes of berries." And I'm
Yep.
like, "Is that a thing up here?" And they were
Yep.
like, "Yes."
Yeah.
That's
Berries
blew my
grow,
mind.
berries grow
That's
wild
really
up
awesome.
here, and it's awesome. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. I
So
watched
you
this
can-
woman who is also from Washington. She's called She Is of the Woods. Have you guys seen her? I think she lives in the mountains. I don't know if it's the blue. I think it's the Blue Mountains. But she,
Okay.
I mean, she's amazing and she can grow some herbs like you wouldn't believe. I've learned a lot from her. She is just an amazing person. Like she swears a lot though. So if you do watch her, don't watch her around your kids because she just will fly off and say whatever she feels, which is
Right.
fine. It's my kind of person, but
Yeah,
she's definitely a mountain woman. It's
Yeah.
really, it's super, it's,
I grew up with sailors, so
oh, there you go.
yeah. Like my mouth is what it is. Like
Yeah.
most of my late night chats on my channel, I have to put that TBA man in the corner for myself because I just that's how I talk.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm just normally talking, like if I'm not trying to go obviously impress anybody for a job interview or anything like that, I'm gonna speak my mind, and sometimes it's nice to be able to do that. So
Yeah.
that's why when you were saying earlier that you're making your stream TBA for a while, I'm like it's sometimes good to just go and just be an adult and say whatever you want to say and just be.
Have
Yeah.
and not
adult
have to
fun.
worry about censoring everything you say and what you're thinking. And
Yeah.
it's hard sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes
is.
you just need that time to be an adult.
Yep.
So for sure.
Yep.
What was the name of that channel that you had just said? The one
She
up in
is
Washington?
she is of the woods.
She
is
of the woods.
of the woods.
Yeah,
I like that
believe.
channel name.
Hold
That's
on.
kind of cool.
Yeah, she has dreadlocks.
Oh,
She
okay.
has like a tattoo, like it goes from her chin all the way down to her chest.
Oh.
She's very interesting and unique. Her name is April. And
she's
she's something.
Yeah, she's got quite a few subscribers.
Yes, quite a few.
Yeah.
And she
Holy cow.
FYI, she knows what she's freaking talking about. You listen to
Okay.
her, and she knows how to make tinctures, all that kind of stuff.
That's
And
really cool.
yeah, and I think she has a website too. You can buy stuff from her. I've never bought anything off of her, but
Okay.
she's really, really smart, and you can learn a lot from her. She just swears a lot, which I don't care. But the average person that is offended by that, you might get offended, but I'm not.
Gotcha.
So, but she's pretty awesome, and I think that's how she can
Rain
get down to your level too. She's just a normal person.
Rain Country?
She's just not, she's just down to earth kind of person.
Right. No, B Lady said that there's a channel called Rain Country.
Mm.
And apparently she's a pretty big channel. And she's also out of Washington. So
Cool.
yeah. And we've actually met quite a few people. Like we actually got to physically meet Mojo and his wife, which was absolutely the funnest time ever.
That's
they
cool.
are so amazing. They're so cool. And there's a few other people that we've met throughout our journeys that also live across the state of Washington. So it's kind of cool. So
Yeah, there's a lot of people in Washington and Oregon that homestead.
yeah.
And I'm lucky enough. I don't live too far. I don't know if you've heard of them, the Two Family Homestead. They are really big in the community, but Sherry has gotten sick, so they've stopped doing what they're doing for a little while. But they came to my house and have been with me and saw my garden and bought eggs for me and stuff like that. They don't live too far away. So it was also AKA Nana's Menagerie. That's her other channel. But Sherry's a really sweet person. Daryl is her husband, and they usually would teach you how to set up your YouTube page and stuff like that. They're very, very good people. I think they have like 15 or 16,000 subscribers.
Wow.
But yeah, they're pretty cool. So, and they know everybody.
Mhm.
I mean, they're like friends with Doug and Stacy and, and all that. So they know everybody. And
Right.
I think that's super cool. One of these days I'm going to go to one of the meetups or maybe create my own. I don't know what I'm doing yet. We'll got to figure it out, but something's going to happen. I want to meet people, and I definitely want to meet Cosmic Cultivators for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That is, they're definitely on the list for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The list is getting longer. Day by day. Swear every
I
day it gets
know.
longer. It gets longer. You're like, and now we gotta go. We're just gonna plan one long trip and just go everywhere all at once.
Yeah.
Just
Sounds
drive
good to
across
me.
the country. Why not?
Yeah. I've always wanted to do that too.
Yeah. There's a lot of really good people that we have met through all of the communities that we're both a part of, between both of our channels, between Blue Farm and my football channel. So we've kind of branched out a little bit. So it's kind of fun. We enjoy it.
Yeah.
We enjoy it.
Yeah,
So-
everybody has been super cool. I trust everybody, specifically all my members. Like all my members have been super cool. We watch everybody. Like
Yeah.
just everyone's really awesome, and I've been really lucky to have that.
Right.
So yeah, because
Well, we're proud to be a part of the Poop Troop, Courtney, for
Oh,
sure.
I'm so glad. And like I've said before, I cannot believe this Poop Troop thing has went this far because it's freaking the Poop Troop. I just I did it because I used to make fun of people when they leave panel. And so then it just grew from there. So I think it's kind of funny that it's just like something random and odd and goofy, and it's lasted this long and people want to be a part of it, which is really funny. So
And people want to do poop news segments.
yes, I
To
love
help
that.
them work out their anxieties.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
freaking love that. I love that. That's great.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Like she'll spend the whole week looking up articles. I don't like that one. I don't like that one. And she'll send it to me. She's like, "Can you look up some for me?" And so I'll send her a few that I find, and she reads it. Oh, I like that one. So trust me, she spends the whole week trying to find the little things.
And he's helping
To
me
do.
too.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, okay, you did great. Next time, slow it down.
Mhm.
Because I try to go so fast because my anxiety is just so fast. And
Yeah.
And that's why usually what we'll do is like I'll read the article and then she'll go back and read it so she's heard it one time.
yeah.
And so like I'm helping her prepare for it. So it's a lot of fun.
You guys are so cute. I love it.
Yeah,
You guys,
it's-
you obviously click really well, and
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, we wouldn't still be here if we weren't like there. We've gone through some challenging times in our short time together, and so there's been a lot of ups and downs, and we've just kind of held in there together, and now we're here where we are, and I couldn't be happier. So
It is what it is.
Of
No,
course,
just
life
kidding.
is life. But yeah, pretty much. It is what it is. Yeah, right.
Love you.
Uh-huh. Hey,
Aw.
Jules, what's up, Jules?
Hey, Jules.
Hey, thanks for coming in,
Oh.
guys. Do you have any questions for Blue Farm? This has been a really great time. I
Yeah,
love you
we've been
guys.
excited to come up here for sure. Like we've been looking forward to this.
Right.
There was a question earlier and I read it and then it disappeared.
I don't
And
know.
I can't remember what it was.
I don't know. I'm just going to sit here and say that.
Well, no, I answered the one about the mushrooms and somebody else had asked another question and I can't
I
remember.
just don't like mushrooms. I've been wanting to try like the chicken of the woods. Like I think I would try that.
Right.
I don't really go out and somebody would have to pick it for me or get it for me because I'm not really up on the mushroom thing. I'd probably pick it and then eat it and die. You know what I'm saying? But I would like to try that. I'm just not a mushroom fan, and I don't like it on my pizza or anything like that. It just grosses me out. So,
She's a mushroom addict. So.
Are you?
Love them.
Oh yeah, she
Yeah.
loves her mushrooms.
Love mushrooms.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
Mushrooms
you can
and
put 'em in
lettuce.
so much stuff. Like,
Yeah, mushrooms and lettuce. Earlier, Kathy made the comment that Nikki would put lettuce on her peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and she probably would.
I've never done it, but I'm not going to say I'll never do it.
Yeah, she goes a little overboard with the lettuce sometimes.
Man, I love lettuce.
yeah. I grow a lot of lettuces and stuff, but I don't eat any lettuce from the store. I refuse because
Yeah,
I don't want to die. I don't
Right,
trust it. So many
Yeah.
times, like I think romaine lettuce for like a full 3 months straight, there was none in the stores because they had listeria. And I was
Right.
like, this is ridiculous. I'm like, I'll just grow my own. And every year I grow my own and we make our own. I mean, I could grow some in my greenhouse right now if I really wanted to, but I haven't.
Right.
But, I have tons of different types of lettuces that I grow, and I grow them in the spring and then I grow them in the fall. And
Okay.
so, yeah. And you'll notice too, if you grow in the fall, you'll get a lot less bug pressure.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So think about that, and think about it mid-July. That's when you want to think about it. Like, okay, well, the snow season's going to come here. This is how much time I have to grow my brassicas. So you can start your carrots, you can start your broccolis, your cauliflowers, and everything, and push it towards fall. And the cooler it is, the better like things like carrots and radishes and stuff like that taste.
Right.
Right.
So it's easier to grow in the fall when you have less bug pressure because most of them are starting to die because they know it's going to be winter.
Right.
Right.
So
To answer the blue greenhouse question, we're actually going to be building it out of cattle panels. It's going to be a cattle panel greenhouse.
We had talked about the wood that I'm using for it, maybe doing some sort of color with it.
Yeah.
But, I don't remember where I got the idea from now.
Stivers.
Yeah, Stivers Homestead. I was watching
we
one of
use
his
them.
videos, and he actually made his twice as big as I'm making mine because I had to cut mine in half due to size
Where the
issues on our
flat part
properties.
is on the
Um,
property.
I love
so-
the freaking Stivers. You guys know
Yeah.
Grammy Karen is Jen's mom, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
she's
yes.
a member. I freaking love her. I love
Yeah.
I love the Stivers. Freaking love
Yes.
them.
I'm
Oh,
friends
yeah.
with her on Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah, well, like I said, I watched a bunch of his videos because there's actually been a few things that I've borrowed from him that we've used on our homestead as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that's one of them. So, again, probably the end of February is when the construction is going to start on that. It really kind of depends on the tax men and when they're going to give me my tax money back.
Yeah.
Because lumber is so expensive right now. That's the biggest problem is getting the wood that I need to build it is going to be the most expensive part.
Right.
Bruce is throwing me off with his comments. When we moved in here, we had about $2,000 worth of lumber up in the barn because the owner couldn't take it all out in time. And
you got lucky.
So we got lucky. So our greenhouse is with some of that wood. And we do have a greenhouse video. And we did use the Stivers information for some of that. And actually some of our beds, our raised beds, are Stivers too, because they use dog ear fence pickets.
Right.
So that's what they do too. And so I just love the Stivers. I love what they do, and I love everything about them. So
I just love watching his video. He's hilarious.
Yes. Yeah.
So a couple months ago, I told Jay, since we never got a honeymoon, we went to the courthouse, got married, and then I had a kid a few months later.
Really?
She didn't want. Okay, let's get this straight. She did not want a wedding because of her anxiety. She didn't want a big wedding, so
I understand that. It is when you're walking down the aisle and everybody's staring at you.
Yes.
It can be a little like, oh my God. At that moment.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't want to stand up in front of people. I have a public speaking issue. I didn't want to stand in front of people and talk. And I was even nervous just with my sister-in-law and his best friend being there. You know, I felt like I was going to stutter. I couldn't stop smiling and I almost wanted to cry just because of my anxiety.
I think it's so cool that you guys just did that. You just go and do it and then you have a baby.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. But I told him a couple months ago that I wanted to go to the Stivers cottage. And I wanted to go stay there for our honeymoon.
Yep. And then, do the whole thing where we get to actually interact with them and do that.
You guys are going to be so close to me and I'm not going to be able to see you.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
We'll have to make an extra special trip.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll have to include that into our plan.
That'd be awesome.
All right.
That'd be awesome.
What are our goals for Shedworth? Honestly, Chris, I don't think we really have any goals set because we just kind of want to see our first year doing this, how much we're actually able to produce for our family. I think that's we're just going to try to produce as much as we possibly can. We're going to go above and beyond what we did last year. And then from there, it's, I guess you can only go up from there, so we're going to try to do as much as we can, but I don't think we have any specific goals set at the moment. We just want to kind of have fun with it.
Yeah.
I want to have fun with it. And I also need to know what the new rules are and the new, challenges. And I don't know if there's,
from what I was told, you don't have to participate in the challenges. And there are sometimes I can't participate in the challenges. It's just hard enough for me to grow my food.
Right.
So I'm going to grow my food. And if I want to participate in a challenge, I will. But I'm not going to be able to do every single challenge. There's no way.
Right. So. Guardian Prepping says that we look super comfortable on camera, so she's not sure how you have public speaking issues.
I want to thank Courtney for helping me with my public speaking issues.
Oh,
she's the one that was like, hey, come up on my panel. And then she just kept inviting me back. And I'm like, okay, I got more comfortable. So on here, I'm okay. But when it comes to being in front of a group of people, that's when I panic, I shut down, I cry, I freak out. It's a whole big old, what is wrong with that big baby?
But it's something she's dealt with for
my whole life,
pretty much her whole life. So
I actually, I don't know if I should be saying this, but I actually got kicked out of high school for not going. I ditched all the classes that I had to read out loud in or do speeches in because I'd get up in front of the class, I'd burst into tears, and I'd run out of the room. And kids would laugh and make fun of me. And I didn't know what was wrong with me until I was in my 20s. Yeah. I didn't know what anxiety was.
Yeah. That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, it is.
But I've never been shy like that.
Right.
I just don't. I don't know.
I'm super shy. Can you tell?
I'm shy at other things though.
Right.
But
right.
I've never been shy to speak in public. Public speaking has always been my thing. I loved to do presentations and stuff in high school. I guess I was one of those weird ones, but
yeah. See, and I did drama.
I'm not your average person anyway. I'm a little weird. So
right. Yeah, and I did drama and worked on the newspaper and stuff like that when I was in junior high and high school. So I had a lot of interactions with people. I did a lot of interviews through high school doing for the paper and doing plays and stuff for the school.
I'm like, they
so
can't see you doing this below the camera.
I did a lot of that kind of stuff in junior high and high school.
yeah, so I'm just not as shy. Like I'm a pretty outgoing person, I think. And there's some things, like I said, I can be pretty shy about, but
right.
Yeah. So
right.
My gosh, you guys. Okay, so I went a little bit longer because I love you guys. And I love to talk to y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. You guys, I hope you get a ton of subs tonight. Most of the people in here, though, know you, but there are a few. Right. Oh my God, Chris Wyatt's in here. What's up?
Hey, Chris Wyatt, what's up?
I didn't want it to make me a soldier. I just really like this hat, Chris. Oh my gosh. I think you want to come up on my panel at the late talk? I'm going to get you a link. I miss my Chris Wyatt.
No, we've really been looking forward to this, Courtney. And like I said, you kind of helped because we started this channel together when we first moved up here. And then I went into the trucking industry. I started working for the trucking company. I was gone a lot. Been working a lot. So she kind of did the thing on her own for a while. And then that's when she kind of met you and started doing that. And then she kind of got me doing it again. So it's like, we've kind of done this on and off with YouTube since we started our channel because we started it, about a year ago when we moved up here. Mm-hmm. So it's been kind of up and down, but it wasn't really until she started coming up onto your panels and started interacting with you and the community that she really started to take off and grow.
Yeah, right.
So we definitely have.
I owe you a million thank yous.
Yes.
Well, I owe you guys because you guys are constantly mentioning me out there, and I really appreciate it.
She talks about the poop troop more than you have no idea. She brings that up to members too. You need to be a member. Just go be a member. Just check her out. Just be a member.
Yeah, 99 cents a month.
Oh yeah, dude. She is your biggest marketer right now. It's ridiculous.
I really appreciate it, guys.
You want to come say hi?
Hey, what's up?
Come say hi.
Daxie.
Oh, you say hi. Can you say hi? Can you wave to everybody?
Hi.
Hi.
That's cool. Oh, and there he goes.
Yeah.
He's super shy. Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, like I said, we really appreciate you and for having us up and doing this. This is really fun. We've been looking forward to it all week. Like I said, I worked my whole entire work week schedule around it just so I made sure we wouldn't miss it.
Yeah. Their link, you guys, is posted at the top of this page, so you can go directly. Oh my God, Julie's a member now. Holy moly,
Awesome.
Jules, welcome.
Thank
Give
you.
her a big
Awesome,
poop troop
Jules.
salute.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys, give her the poop. Thank you. We're gonna have my goal is to get 2,000 subscribers and to have 100 members.
Hey.
And I'm hoping I can do that. I just reached 1,400 subs.
I was gonna say you're getting real close to that member count too.
Yeah.
Real close.
So
That's exciting.
Yeah, and I'm almost there to the member count too. I think I'm like 20 odd numbers away. So
well, we love you, and that's why we keep coming back.
Yeah.
Well, I love you guys. Seriously, you guys are really down to earth,
Love
and
you.
yeah, I can't think of anybody else I want to have on my panel. You guys are amazing, so I
Thank
appreciate
you.
And
we can't wait for Shed Wars this year. We're so excited.
Oh,
Right.
dude, it's gonna be the
So
bomb.
excited!
It's gonna be the bomb.
It's gonna be so much fun.
All right, shut it down. Just be
It's
quiet.
all right. It's all good.
Just sit here and be cute.
Chris, I will send it on WhatsApp, FYI, to your link as long as you don't get it all confused and show up somewhere else. Okay, so thank you all for being here. Geez, how many kids do they have? I have no idea. I think they have 3.
Yeah.
3? Yeah. Warren Lewis, he's in the house. Thank you so much. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to end the chat. Make sure you subscribe to Nikki and Jay over at Blue Farm. Their link is pinned at the top of this chat. Holy moly.
Wow.
And come on over
throw
to
stuff.
yeah, my son hits me in the head. If he has a sippy cup, and if you don't give him what he wants, he'll whack you with it. Yeah. So, yeah, I will be over at the after party. So you can come on over. It starts at, I think, 11:15, and we will see you all over there. What's that say? Membership cost is more than fair, so you will overshoot. Yeah, I want to. That's the whole point of making it 99 cents. Well, I don't feel right making it any higher than that. I do have a couple of other tiers, but the option is 99 cents, so you can choose
Right.
that if you wish, and that way anybody and everybody can join if they want to, and it's only like $12 a year. It's not really that much, you know. So
Right.
all right, guys, we will see you all next time. I think next week I do have Blacklash Fisherman coming on. I'm excited to have him on my show. We're doing some late talks, and you guys are going to be seeing more videos from me. So that's going to be
Awesome.
even better. So we will see you all next time, and you have a good night.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Thank you, Kathy Bates, for the super chat. I just now saw it, and